Всем привет! Приветствую вас на канале axel, и сегодня мы с вами рассмотрим игру Ворон переиздание. Начнем с первой главы. Запускаем. Да, поехали. Подсказки. Если вы не знаете, что делать, поговорите со всеми пассажирами. Хорошая подсказка. Начинается заставочка, посмотрим, что нам покажут. Игрушка что-то в стиле Элькю Пуаро, насколько я знаю. Так что будем смотреть, если понравится, будем дальше играть. Чё ж так громко?
Thrilled, Miss Pendry.
Чё-то
The Raven's heir. Soon as one of them's caught, another one takes his place. Hey, Harold, have you read this? Harold? Harold?
попал походу. Игрушка что-то в стиле скандалы, интриги, расследования,
You hear me?
похищения.
This is no time for fun and games.
О! Уже начались интриги.
Calm down. I'm a copper. We're on the same side.
A copper? What are you doing here? And where's Harold?
Harold? Well, there's another guard back there unconscious. That's probably him. The Eye of the Sphinx. Where is it?
It's there.
Oh, good. Then he hasn't got it yet.
You mean the Raven's heir?
Shh! Turn it off. He's gonna steal the eye.
But how do you know?
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we catch him. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
Do you understand? You and me, mate. We'll be heroes. All right, now we just have to.
what?
Действительно, нафига полицейский там
Halt!
охранять?
Stop! You're under arrest!
Вот логика. Ну, как я говорю, Ворон переиздание. Как красиво, а? Вот жить людям в таких вот местах жить, смотреть постоянно. Красота. Так вот, мы тут будем походу расследовать похищение. Искать, кто это мог быть, наверное, личность. Ну, сейчас посмотрим, что нам игра предложит. Какие старые паровозы красивые. Красота какая. Пассажир Лориент Экспресс. Лондон, Токио. О, даже часы бьют.
Hands up!
О, начало.
I don't have time to play. I'm on duty.
времени нет разговаривать.
But you don't look like a real cop.
А язык,
You don't even
оказывается,
have a
есть.
revolver.
Ему следует... В смысле?
Disturbing a Swiss officer while he reads a crime novel is a very serious offense. I could arrest you.
But I have a pistol, and you don't.
А, это типа он сначала проговорит свои мысли, потом отвечает.
Where in the
Интересно.
world is it so dangerous that I'd need a pistol? And who might you be?
My name is Matthew Miller,
And where are you from, Matthew Miller?
from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. But my mom and I live in England now. She's taking care of some rich old lady. We're on our way to Venice at the moment. We're taking a cruise on a big ship.
Impressive. You've already seen half the world. I've spent my entire life in Switzerland.
Must be really boring.
And what's with the gun? What do you need it for?
It's the Raven. He was gunned down, so now I need a pistol.
Dead birds don't need guns. Nor do live ones.
You don't know who the Raven is, do you? He's the greatest burglar ever. He stole paintings from the Louvre and those priceless eggs with gold and diamonds and stuff. And Bobby Dobbs says he replaced the crown
Золотые яйца с
jewels with
бриллиантами, да.
rhinestones.
I know who the Raven was. Although I don't quite buy that bit about the crown jewels. You do know these days there are thieves far more dangerous than your old Raven. 2 days ago, a precious ruby was stolen from the British Museum. There was an explosion. A guard was severely injured.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what the papers say?
Думаешь, он читать умеет?
You talk too much, Constable.
Zellner, monsieur. Anton Jakob Zellner.
Or did he pull a gun on you?
No, monsieur.
Сдавай
Get a
его, сдавай
move
его. Да ё-моё, надо было сдать, ну. Угроза дальше.
Inspector Legrand, it's a great honor to work with
А
a
это
celebrity
инспектор.
like you.
We appreciate the support of the Swiss police, but it'd be better if you'd remain seated and
Все такие, как
keep an
федералы,
eye
блин.
on things.
Нам не нужна твоя поддержка.
But, monsieur,
Вот.
surely I can be of assistance, somehow. I saw a safe being loaded.
We have everything under control. If you'll excuse me,
Уверен.
I'll be in the first freight car at the back of the train for the rest of the trip.
Ну,
I'm not
ты
here
куда
to
пошел?
enjoy the beautiful scenery. I am a good observer, and I have finally honed powers of deduction.
Thanks to that?
I watched the
Книжки.
people on the platform in Zurich. I know, for example, that man over there is a violinist.
That would be more impressive
Капитан
if there weren't a
Очевидность.
violin case next to him.
And I believe that the gentleman in the next carriage is a German doctor on his way to Italy to take up a new position.
And what gives you that idea?
There's the rod of Asclepius engraved on his cufflink. And he's carrying a German-Italian dictionary.
Maybe he's just taking a holiday in Italy, following in Goethe's footsteps.
Too much
Следом
luggage. And no, he's not retiring to Italy either. The suitcases are too shabby for me to believe that he can afford to retire in his late 50s.
All right then, Constable...
Zellner.
Constable Zellner. If
кто
you're
он
such a
запомнил?
clever fellow, what am I doing on this train?
I think
Ну,
you're
рассеянность
guarding
охраняет.
something.
Oh really? And what might it be?
Деньги вряд ли. Кто
Could it
драгоценный камень?
possibly be a jewel that's making a long and perilous journey?
You're guessing. You can't possibly know what's inside the safe.
But if that were the case,
Then I'd ask you why the train wasn't crawling with police.
Да, ловушка без полицейских как-то нет. Ну,
you
что
don't
мне
want to
привлекать?
arouse attention.
Évident. But why not?
There are enough police on this train as it is. If there were more, they'd only get in each other's way.
I can assure you that I'd pack every seat in every carriage of this train with police, if it were a matter of deterrence.
You're saying
да что
you
ты.
don't want to scare off potential thieves? Ah, You're laying a trap.
That would
And,
explain why it's just me and not the army, n'est-ce pas? All the same, I can't comment on your speculation. Well, that is impressive, I admit. But the fewer people involved, the better. We'll get along fine
Ну
with
что же самое сказали,
You won't.
чтобы не привлекать внимание.
Won't? Pardonnez-moi.
I can help. And I will help. You are in my country. And I've been ordered to assist you. And that's exactly what I'll do. Whether you like it or not.
Clever and stubborn. Your commitment speaks volumes, Zelna. But this is my show, and I don't need you. Bon voyage.
But how do you know?
Какой охреневший федерал, а?
Oh, hello.
You cheated.
I did what?
I saw you talking to the German doctor on the platform. He told you everything himself.
Ah,
And you were just
хитрый лис, а?
pretending to put two
Он
and two
с ним
together.
поговорил, такой,
And
типа,
what
потом
of it?
я
Do
догадался
you know
по
who that
запонкам
is?
там и так далее.
That's Inspector Nicholas Legrand. You have to impress him if you want to work with him.
I'm going to tell on you.
You'd really tell on me?
А я
To
бы
the very
доверял.
policeman who shot your dear Raven?
Whoa. It was him?
Mm-hmm. Hunted and killed Europe's most famous burglar. That's how he got his start.
I won't tell him a thing.
I wouldn't either.
О, как
All
бы
right,
подкупили,
Matthew.
а? Молодцы,
I have to do my
молодцы.
work now.
Everyone calls me Matt. Well, except for my mom. She calls me Maddie, as if I were a little kid.
А ты что, здоровый пацан, что ли?
Whether Legrand wants my help or not, I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe I can change his mind.
Да нет,
Alright.
сами разберемся. Ну этот чувак очень похож на Эль Капуаро. Так. Ну, давайте начнем.
The Vicarage in the Mirror. A detective novel by my favorite author, Lady Clarissa Westmacott. For years now, I've been trying to convince my theater group to stage one of her plays. I'll leave it there. I'll pick it up before I get off.
Главное не забыть.
This
Так,
is the
что у нас там?
first car. The coal tender should be directly beyond this door, and in front of it, the engine.
Угу.
The large map shows the different routes of the Orient Express. This train began in Paris and ends in Istanbul as usual. Unfortunately, it will make most of its journey without me.
Ну, печально. До Стамбула не доедем. Так,
The
ну, что?
violinist is a good-looking fellow, and he's traveling through the most beautiful mountain landscape in the world. But one can only hope that his violin is better tuned than he.
А, точно, сначала типа говорит свое мнение о человеке или о чем-нибудь, а потом ты с ним можешь поговорить. Интересненько, интересненько. Че, ручки трясутся, да?
Hello, sir.
Что же утворил гад?
If I'm not mistaken, you're a violinist.
That's true.
A wonderful instrument. The violin music touches the soul.
That's why I learned to play it.
Do you play in an orchestra?
Ой.
No, orchestras aren't really part of my world.
A solo violinist. The best soloists travel a great deal and make a pile of money, or so they say.
In that
Ты на него
case,
посмотри, нищий.
I'm probably not
Какие
one of the
деньги.
best.
Are you
What do you-
traveling to
Khalid?
Istanbul non-stop?
No. I'll transfer in Venice to a ship. I'm on my way to Cairo.
Cairo?
I'm performing at the reception in the Egyptian Museum there.
Что такое, на этом поезде все на корабль, что ли, едут?
I'm
Или как?
sure your recital will be a great success. But tell me, did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Anything unusual?
Persons acting suspiciously, for instance.
For heaven's sake, is there cause for concern?
Everything is in order,
Походу,
sir.
это он сам
We
сидел в
Swiss are
оркестре,
just
блин.
very cautious people.
I understand. No, I didn't notice anything.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Чё,
There
всё
could be
мысли?
many reasons for the violinist shaking hand. Strained nerves, an illness. My money's on alcohol.
Что-то
He
стырил?
wouldn't be the first musician who ruined his career that way.
А она после
Very
следующего.
kind of you.
О,
Thanks.
и что это сейчас было?
pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
Lucio.
Так это мне вода
Professor
была, там кофе
Edgar
было.
Lucio.
Oh, a
Намочить,
professor?
может быть, не намочилось, но пятно останется.
Are
Слушай,
you
гони
a
форму обратно.
scientist? Do you teach at the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say. So, you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
There was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing
Действительно,
that's
блин,
happened
ты
in the last
работаешь
2000
где-то,
years concerns
даже,
me.
допустим, в магазине, где прошли воры, блин, обокрали, ты стоишь и дальше себе там на кассе что делаешь? Как это возможно?
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
You don't know him? And you also don't know what he's doing here?
No.
Вот тоже интересно.
Why should I?
Just
Всем
a
идет,
thought.
говорит, о, вы
You're
знаете,
a
тут инспектор.
representative
Я
of
же
the
скажу,
British
что тут сейф.
Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
О, блин, сказал,
sorry.
что тут сейф находится. Ну ты
I don't know
придурок.
what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
Ну, знаешь, приходят к тебе воры домой. Где деньги? А, там.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, or so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
Что-то не договаривает, а? Что-то не договаривает.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Да, скрипача и этого
On the
ученого.
train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just... I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable.
Блин, мужик, ты едешь в поезде, какого у тебя
What's the
времени
matter,
мало?
sir?
The door...
Ты пока не
I can't
доедешь
open
куда-то,
it.
ты с поезда не выйдешь.
We'll sort it out somehow. The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward, he was going to bring me one, but he
Так
never
тем
came
более в
back.
купешках
Someone
замки не
locked.
сквозные.
Find the
Ну,
steward.
замок не сквозной, что на
He
него
needs to bring me
смотрит.
the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my
Ну, хорошо это
compartment.
All
скрывает.
right, just wait here.
Ну, блин, хитрый еще один. Так, о. Ну, посмотри, что тут.
The little label on the door reads Baroness von Trebitz. Blue blood on the Orient Express.
Да, посмотри.
Yes, what is it?
Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me
А, что дверь
crazy.
закрыта и шум избавит или что?
You're missing a purse. Was it stolen?
Я же
At
говорю, что
very
этот
least, I cannot find
скрипач
it,
что-то
sir.
шпару руки сидят, трясется такой. Ну я такой,
When did
ничего,
you-
денег нету, типа.
When was the last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What?
In Zurich, on the platform, sir.
I just asked where you last
Ты либо
saw your
встань, поговори
purse.
как
In
человек, либо не
Zurich
сиди,
on
не
the
ори там.
platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs.
The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What?
The Baroness
Да
never
ё-моё,
loses
вы
anything,
издеваетесь?
sir.
Тут 2
I
метра
never
расстояния.
lose anything.
Very well then. I shall be on the lookout for your
2 метра
purse.
расстояния. Он говорит, чего, где?
If I might ask you a few questions about your fellow passengers.
I thought he was looking for my purse.
Да еще и твой
James,
кошелек,
tell him to
блин.
look for my purse.
The Baroness wishes that you search for her purse.
But couldn't we perhaps... All right. First, the purse. I will have a look around.
Thank you, sir.
Так, а мы пошли к скрипачу. Как-то странно кажется. Ну-ка, Лис, где кошелек?
If I may trouble you once more. A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps you've seen it.
So, there are thieves on the train.
It's been missing for some time now. Probably since Zurich.
The Swiss don't let go of money easily, do they?
Такой хитрый, а?
Pardon me. No, I haven't seen the purse.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
I don't know what more to ask. He hasn't noticed anything suspicious.
Это он сам подозрительный. Нет, ты что стоишь башкой крутишь? Не, да, нет, чего такого нет. Это не я. У меня купе закрыто. Я странный, я ничего не слышал о кражах. Не, вы чё?
I don't believe it.
Кого там уже увидел?
I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer...
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice.
Это писательница книги, которую читал.
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
Ага.
A pleasure.
Нам очень тоже приятно. Давай расскажи,
May
что
I
ты здесь
ask
делаешь.
what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday?
Что можно в поезде делать?
Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well,
Действительно, человек на каникулах. Какие нафиг это самое?
Are you traveling to Istanbul, Lady Westmacott?
No, we are on our way to Venice. From there we will take a ship to Cairo. As you may know, I have a penchant for archaeology. I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled to Egypt by ship as a young woman. And now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see. As a writer, you must be very observant. Am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner. Since then, most people just bore me.
Really?
Ой, да ладно.
I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
Did you notice the man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
I did. He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty young, but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course.
Конечно. Только из вежливости, не из интереса.
Did you notice the blonde man with the violin case?
I certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression. People like him are drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's
О,
purse.
ну же говорю, что он
You think
странный.
he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem.
Хотел стащить, не
No matter
получилось,
how
пошел
much you
бараны
give them, they
стащил.
always spend twice as
Сволочь,
much
а.
and complain that they have far too little.
Did you
Ну, такие
notice
пассажиры.
anyone else? What about the doctor or the baroness?
I notice that you've asked me about everyone, except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes
А ты
ago.
про откуда
Isn't
знаешь
that
про
the
инспектора?
Frenchman who made his name when he caught the raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well,
Пристрелил.
why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation.
Да ладно, публично обсуждать не можем. А ты уже полвагона рассказал, что он тут.
Will
И
he
что
say
сейф тут
today again?
находится.
Or will you, Constable?
There's something else. A passenger's purse has gone missing. I suppose you haven't seen it.
I'm sorry, Constable Zellner. As you know, I only deal with murder, not burglary.
Have you asked my boy yet? Maddie is good at finding things.
I'll go and do that now. As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it. Your chance.
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
Действительно.
Mrs. Miller made a good impression. She wanted to protect Lady Westmacott from me, a pushy admirer. Very diligent. But she does seem a little nervous and tense. I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt. And a difficult boss, from what they say.
Давай с ней поговорим.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Yes?
The
Matt
little boy,
yeah?
Matt, he's your son?
Oh, yes. Has he done something?
No. I've already met him. Clever little fellow.
We always call him Professor because he's so
Ну, он сказал,
precocious.
что
If only someone could just drive the mischief out of him.
Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I was totally focused on my work.
She's always got an awful lot to do, my Mary.
You have to tell me if that's not all right with you.
Good Lord, child. Knit as much as you want.
Нормальные тёрки такие.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No, Constable.
Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
Ладно, пошли малого поищем. Он вроде в заднем вагоне был. Да шагай ты. Где ты тут? Блин, как назад? Вот сюда. Тоже такие приходы, как будто не вагоном поезд меняет.
He doesn't make a very... And he, of all people, isn't bothered by a robbery in his own museum? Professor Lucien?
Yes? Do you have the key?
Actually, I wanted to...
Please. I have to go back to my compartment.
Ой, ладно, где ты? А где малой? А, блин. Ты сказал, что возьмешь его, когда выйдешь.
Should I ask for an autograph? That would be quite unprofessional. But on the other hand...
Так глянь, мелкий тут или нет? Нет. Ладно, пошли мелкого искать.
There could be many reasons for the violinist's shaking hand. My money's on Elko.
Это мы уже слышали. Так точно он спер, ну.
First, I better see about getting the door open, and then have another talk with the professor. Doesn't seem like I'll get anything out of him as long as the door is still locked. The Baroness seems to have a special personality. I better not bother her until I find her purse.
Ой. С этим кошельком.
An extraordinary woman. Talented, intellectual, extremely rich, and the most successful writer of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Yet, they say she can be difficult on occasion, and that she's rather unhappy.
Да я подсказал, что она несчастлива.
Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner, how can I help you?
Автограф можно?
I was wondering if you might...
Sign your book, Constable Zellner?
If it isn't too much of an inconvenience.
Of course it's an inconvenience,
ты смотри,
but only
какая.
a small one.
Затруднит, ну чуть-чуть, типа. Так я типа, ну подпишу, но надо немножко повыеживаться.
You are welcome.
Что
Thank
ты
you
шо?
so
Я
very
тебе...
much.
Я даже спасибо еще не
Another
сказал.
time. Farewell, Lady Westmacott.
Constable?
Ну что тут?
The steward must have forgotten the toothpicks. Normally he would offer them discreetly after dinner.
Зубочисточки, да? Давайте закончим на этом сегодня. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь, комментируйте, ставьте лайки, жмите на колокольчик. Всем пока.